All right. Just lit the fire. Gonna have a bit of a braai. I'm just doing a bit of a preview for Saturday's game. The Springbok team has been announced. I haven't seen the Australian team, but we know more or less what to expect. It sounds like Karevi's fit to play. All the guys that have been thorns in the sides of the South African team. Quade Cooper. Like I said, Karevi. Apparently they're picking the big locks in. Will Skelton will probably play. I think Rory Arnold is the other one. So they want to bring size, they want to bring physicality. And to be completely honest with you, I am a little bit worried. It seems like lately the Australians have had one over us, over the Springboks in the last while, but not so much at Loftus. It's at altitude. It's about 1,300 odd meters above sea level, and a lot of these guys, because they don't play Super Rugby in South Africa anymore, a lot of these Australian players would never have played at this kind of altitude. A lot of the media says that it doesn't have, in the professional era, it doesn't have that big an effect anymore, but I think a few of the lesser experienced Australians might feel it. But for the same, you might say that a lot of the South Africans, the overseas-based players, play most of their rugby in Japan and Europe at sea level, so they haven't played at altitude in a while as well. Not sure how that works. If you were born and raised in Johannesburg, like a Faf de Klerk or whoever who grew up playing their rugby at the Lions, is it sort of part of your DNA to be used to it? I don't know. But lately, I'm not sure if the sea level has that big an effect. I think it has a bigger effect when you don't have the ball, when you're defending. If you're defending for long periods of time, then I think it's worse. For any team, you get tired quicker. But we'll have to wait and see. The biggest worry for me is that there's a lack of combinations for the Springboks, guys that haven't played a lot of rugby together, while in Australia a lot of those guys know each other quite well. They play their rugby in Australia, they've spent a bit more time preparing than a lot of our guys. So let me get straight into our team. So we picked a team, and then there's also players that are going straight to New Zealand now. They flew yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and those guys are going to start preparing on that side. So the team starting is Willie Leroux at fullback, Kainan Moody, Lucanio Andre Esterhuizen, Kurtley Arendse at 11, Mani Libbok, only playing has only played 3 games for the Springboks. Kobus Reinach, Dwayne Vermeulen captain, Marco van Staden, Marvin Orri, Jean Klein, Frans Malherbe, Bongi Mbonambi, and a late change, Stephen Kitsoff. There was an injury to Oxen Che. He's going to be out of the entire rugby championship. And interestingly, Ruan Steenekamp from the Bulls have been drafted into the squad, and he's flying out to New Zealand today, and he's going to be part of the team in New Zealand. The bench is Joseph Dweba, Thomas de Tooy, Vincent Koch, RG Snyman, Evan Roos, Dion Fourie, Grant Williams, and Damien Willemse. So actually a very, very strong team, and shows the Springbok depth. If you look at a lot of the potential starters are going to New Zealand. So a very nice mix of youth and experience, very exciting back three with Kainan Moody and Kurtley Arendse. And my head and on paper and everything, I think the Springboks have the stronger team. But I'm just worried about the style we play. I think we're going to look quite rusty in the beginning. It's going to look a bit disjointed, and hopefully we can get it together within the game and have enough to win the game. My biggest worry is the locks. Marvin Ori, who is a decent lock, decent rugby player, but he doesn't have that X factor of a Itzebet and a Lewitt. He can hold his own. It's not that he does anything wrong. He's just a good, solid player. And I think Jean Klein, to me, is I know very little about him. Also, very good, very solid. Ergie coming off the bench is very exciting. Evan Roos, Dion Fourie will have a definite impact. Grant Williams, pace. Damien Willemse can cover a lot of positions. And then a lekker bomb squad in Thomas de Tooy, Vincent Koch, Joseph Dweba. Still question marks in the lineouts, but he's a powerful player. And hopefully he can make the step up as well. So I'm going to predict, even though it's a bit unsure, I'm going to predict a Springbok victory by a fairly small margin, by hopefully about 10 points as my prediction for the game. But strong team, exciting, interesting, the split, interesting to send players to New Zealand already. The likes of Jasper Wiese. Jasper Wiese is having a baby, and he's only going over a little bit later, but a lot of the potential starters are going over already, your Trevor Inukanis, your a lot of the other starters, and these guys will be joining them. Okay, so looking forward to the game. I'm going to be at Loftus at the game. Should be an awesome atmosphere. Can't wait. Cheers.